11,130 pounds. Every now and then you find an RV that says, yeah, you know what? Dynamite does come in smaller packages, and that's what you're going to get here. Dual air conditioner, generator, all the big fifth wheel toy hauler features, but condensed down into something that, you know, you don't necessarily need a 1-ton dually to haul. My name's Josh the RV Nerd. Welcome to Advantage One RV, and if what you're looking for is something that isn't 45 feet long, but maybe you want a separate outside little 3 seasons room, or you want an area to bring a golf cart or some kayaks or dog kennels or something like that, maybe not necessarily a side-by-side ATV, it doesn't have the largest garage. Not everybody needs that 45-foot fifth wheel toy hauler. Some of us, well, we're just gonna get along just fine with what I like to call a smaller hauler. I think one of the first and most important questions anytime on a toy hauler, though, is what can you haul in it? This is a 10-foot garage. So, yeah, a lot of people with your side-by-side Razor ATVs, you're not going to fit your toys in here. But not everybody needs a 14-foot loading space. There's a lot of people who use these for just like kayaks or dog kennels, golf carts, just a common motorcycle, or e-bikes or something like that. Not every single person needs that giant garage space, which is why I've always liked a model like this. You see the handle up there, that is for that pull-down screen wall. It, of course, has the power bed with the dual kind of flip-over sofas there. So if you want to convert this into some extra kind of living space, you can do that. If you weren't familiar with it, the Impact is like the little brother member of the Keystone Fuzion luxury fifth wheel toy hauler family. This is a series that's a little more accessible, but you still get a lot of those big Fuzion features, like those giant windows over here on the door side. Very nice in the garage space, because the way the kitchen's laid out in the living room, they just didn't have room for door side windows there. Now the RV looks great, and that big bundle of joy on the right is part of the reason why. That's a full RV cover, and in the black bag right here, that right there is a RVQ outside grill. There are 9 of these tie downs that are all 5,000 pound rated. You can see how it's dovetailed a little bit, so you're not going to rake the pipes off your bike when you're loading in and out of here. And you might notice it does have a privacy curtain, so if somebody is sleeping back here, or you just want to block out the light, you know, just create like an extra visible filter between the inside and the outside to create a more private space here, you can do that too. Why does that look so familiar to me? Wait a minute. Is that Gus and like the mice from Cinderella? Cinderella. That's what that is, isn't it? I'm sorry. I see something shiny and my brain's like, ooh, what is that? Passing through the garage here, this has like your kitchen and your living room kind of split the space 50-50, but they overlap very nicely. This is a classic floor plan. It existed, I'm sure, long before this Impact was made, and it will continue to exist, I'm sure, long after. Common toy hauler method here, because space is limited, they put the TV up above the entry door, which is interesting, but it actually really works in this space because this big triple, like, you know, theater seat sort of style thing right here that we're sitting at, it sits straight across from it. So it always gives you a pretty knockout view of the entertainment. Gives you a nice little retreat in here where you can come in and kick your feet up and relax. One of the other things I like about this is, you notice it's just got a nice, warm, sharp fifth wheel interior. It does not look or feel like a luxury hauler. You can see how I'm sprawled out in the corner of this slide out to try to get you these nice shots right here. Another thing this has, starting right here, some very nice storage in this kitchen space. Like when it's all closed up, you're like, yeah, okay, there's the kitchen. But you don't feel like it has a giant kitchen. It has a huge amount of storage space in here because it is a toy hauler. You have those taller ceilings. And this RV really maximizes that. And I love the shine coming off that 8 cubic foot gas electric fridge freezer's door panels right there. Which, by the way, if you disagree, or if you'd like to turn these into a chalkboard, or you prefer the look of stainless or something, basically you can just pop these little side brackets off. You can exchange those panels. That stuff is pretty simple right there. Now, your master control panels over here right by the door when you come in, which is nice because you can just pop your head in, open or close the awning. This is also where your generator would be located, or your generator controls, as it were, and you see 114.9. For all intents and purposes, we're going to say 115 hours on the generator setup on this, which is actually cool to see. My experience has been in when it comes to fifth wheel toy haulers, People purchase them with the idea that, oh, I'm going to get a motorcycle. I'm going to get the ATV hauler, Martha. I'm going to get all the widgets and the whiz bangs. And then they like don't use them the way that they thought they would. I'm just kind of panning around, by the way, so you can just get a lay of the land here. I realize you haven't seen the sofa. Like, this is the perspective of the entry door, by the way. But these folks actually used it. But with things like the full RV cover, when we get up on the roof, you'll see that they did a good job taking care of all of our sealants and stuff. It's used, not abused. And frankly, I think if that hour meter hadn't been on that generator, I don't think we would have had a really reasonable idea of how much it was actually used. In a way, I prefer an RV does get some use, because if people are using it regularly, they tend to keep better care of it. Now, this is interesting. This is a dual entry bed and bath. You've got a door to it straight from the living area like we just had here, or from the bedroom over there. Now, what's cool about it is because this door is over here, when that slide closes, it's going to come over and pinch off this area. But with this door, you can still get right up into that master bedroom space. Now, one thing I just feel obligated to point out, I'm 6'2", 6'3", depending on the peach fuzz on top of my head over here, what shoes and boots and hat I'm wearing. This upper deck is just big enough for me. Like, I can walk under this air conditioner, which, I'm bashing the camera into stuff. But, you know, so I'm not worried about gashing my head on anything. But if you're taller than me, like if you're 6.5 foot tall, you're going to be doing this a little bit up here. But at the same time, I think you kind of budget, how much time are you spending up here versus how much time are you spending out there or past that and outside? I think what they did here is they went with a smart design decision that kept the whole RV from getting too big, too heavy, too expensive. It's still perfectly functional, but it's keeping it a little bit more in check for, like I said, not everybody has a dually, and this helps accomplish that easier towability. So for the point of reference, that is the downstairs and the bathroom door off the bedroom here, just to give you an idea. Notice too, the way that it kind of cuts away gives you a very nice space here to actually be able to get dressed, which is nice. Over here in the corner, you see we've got ourselves bedroom entertainment. It also has outside TV hookups if you're interested. So triple zone entertainment, dual factory installed centralized air. I got a suspicion this RV was probably custom ordered for these people, because most of the dealerships that carried this product line when it was built did not go ahead and install the second factory air. So that's a nice little upgrade feature, or the generator. Chances are this was not just sitting on some lot. So that's another thing, is that it wasn't like, you know, a year old just with everybody rifling through it. And I like this right here. It kind of reminded me of something. Life is not measured by the number of breaths we take, but the moments that take our breath away. It reminds me, I mean, I can totally relate to that. Like the time that I texted my daughter, man, you remind me of your mother right now. Or at least I thought I texted my daughter. You ever do that thing where when you're talking about a person, even if it's not necessarily derogatory, you accidentally text them because they're in your mind? Well, I sent that to my wife, not my daughter. I sent my wife out of the blue, totally unprompted, you remind me of your mother right now. And I'll just let you imagine the response I got. I'm not allowed to use those words on camera, although she wasn't wrong. So, yeah. Double check the recipient of a text before you hit that send button. That's the takeaway from this. There's your lesson from your Uncle Josh. Now notice, you've got a bedroom slide up here, which is just nothing but closet space. You've got that big triple partition of closet space there with 4 dresser drawers below. But what you might not have realized is that this king bed up here actually has additional dresser space below it as well. Now, I try to just get elephants out of the room. It's almost assumed in today's world that a fifth wheel toy hauler is going to have the ramp patio kind of party package on the back of it. This was made before that really became like everybody had to have it. And there are still some folks I've talked to, certain areas of the country where it's like really dusty, really sandy, where they're like, yeah, that does me absolutely no good. I just need a garage space to get my stuff there. And then I repurpose that space for like a separate or extended living room when I get to my destination. Now it's nice with no slides over here on the door side, you just have, you get to use the entire, well, how can I say this? Even though this is a smaller fifth wheel toy hauler, even though that means it's still a good size fifth wheel, it's a smaller hauler. You've got more functional patio space here than I think almost anything else in the Impact or even its big brother Fuzion lineup. This is front power leveling jacks, power rear stabilizers. That awning is it fully clears both of the entry doors, which is very nice. TV hookups out here with some pretty beefy looking outside speakers up top. Get you some outdoor entertainment action going on. Then in here, kind of like you saw, there was that grill, there was the full RV cover. There's some leveling blocks, there's all kinds of random odds and ends. It looks like the folks are just done RVing for a while. But with 115 hours on the generator, they definitely got out. They definitely mixed it up. They had some fun, as the stickers on the inside would indicate, you know, the way that your life is measured. Breaths that, you know, take moments to take your breath away, all that good stuff. They had a good time with this thing. They must just be done RVing for a while. See that Onan 5500 gas generator up front there, giving you the ability to, you know, in the parks, out of the parks, in the middle of nowhere, have full function of your RV. The skin, the decals, everything looking very, very nice on this. I'm not seeing peeling or flaking or fading or any concerning points. You got a sewer hose, stinky, slinky tube holder job under the enclosed docking center right over here. And as we slide just past the, well, slide out, gives a whole new meaning to the electric slide now, doesn't it? Regardless. You see our fueling station right here. That is shared with the generator's fuel cell. This does have a 30-gallon fuel tank, by the way, which is pretty standard in something this size. That is more than enough to give you a good extended weekend out. Now, sometimes people ask, how much gas is the generator going to use? Man, it just totally depends on how you're camping. There's just too many variables for me to answer that. Although if anyone watching this has any kind of insights as to something like that, I would really love it if you would take a moment to share some of that feedback for folks that, you know, maybe just weren't aware otherwise. When we began our adventure, you saw that it does have that screen drop-down door on the back. You got to see the ramp door close, so you can see that we're not hiding any sort of dings or damage. One of the things you didn't maybe notice right away, though, is the latching system on this. It's a positive cam lock kind of system that also can be key locked and padlocked. So you have like double security measures here. Now, everything I can see in the way of sealants looks good up here. But like I said, these folks, they got out there and they mixed it up. And I got a feeling they went off the beaten path a little bit. I think maybe a couple tree branches raked their way across the roof of this, because there are several areas like that, and a couple more in the back that look like maybe a tree branch got a hold of it. Now, it is also possible this RV was the victim of some kind of storm with debris flying through the air. I've walked all over this. These aren't soft spots. I got a feeling, especially based on the rest of the condition that I've seen on the RV, like they were on top of their sealants. The skin is clean. They kept it conditioned. I got a feeling that these folks, they took care of the RV very nicely, and Mother Nature did something to them one time, and they got out here and got it addressed right away. Now, in case you're curious, these little patches, like you hear patch, you're like, I don't like that. That is like slide seam tape, sometimes called a Turnabond tape. That stuff's legit, brother. That is the real deal. Once you put that stuff down, you better be married to it, because you know, till death do us part, she's gonna stay there. So thank you very much for joining us down here at Advantage One today. If you have any questions, or if there's something you like, leave us a little comment. Let us know what you think about the RV here. If you haven't done so, please take a second to subscribe and join along with us, as we always have new content coming out pretty much every single day. So as always, take care, stay safe, have fun, and have an A1 day, everyone.